Hey Timberwolves, we're gonna draw a dragon today, so get your paper and pencil and eraser and let's get started. Okay, I wanna show you some ideas before we get started on different types of dragons. This is more of that Asian style. This is sort of that medieval style. It's got its tail kind of curled around. As you're drawing the dragon, I want you to think about backgrounds that you might wanna have. This one's kind of got its tail curled a little bit higher. This one doesn't have a tail curled at all. This one's sort of got a little bit of both. So some of these dragons I've done in the past. Some of them have more than one head. So as we're drawing this, I want you just to draw lightly with your pencil. Okay, that's going to be the best thing that you can do, is just to draw really lightly. And then if you want to pause the video at any of these to kind of go back and take a look, you can. So we're going to start on this side of the paper. We're going to draw an eye. And then we're going to draw the top part of the head. This is like little snout. It's going to come back. I'm going to draw my mouth open. And then this part is going to be where the teeth are. I'm using a pencil. I'm going to try to press a little bit harder so you can see. Next are going to be the horns. So my horns are going to overlap this part of my head. The horns on this side will not overlap because they're farther away. This part is going to be where the neck comes down. So I'm going to have kind of my body right about here. So lightly, I'm just going to make a kind of an oval shape. This part's going to connect down to the bottom of that oval. And then right here underneath the jaw, I'm going to connect to the top of that oval. So do that lightly. This is going to come back up, and however you want your tail, you want it to curl around, or if you want it just to kind of come in a curved line, the bottom part of that oval is going to slowly get more narrow. All right, and then I can erase that part of my oval that I can still see. That's important that you draw lightly so you can erase it more easily. If I want to, I might make this curve down a little bit more depending on what I want my dragon to look like. All right, then you're gonna finish off the tail. Maybe I want that kind of a pointed look. That's kind of neat. I'm gonna do the legs. This leg is gonna overlap the body, and then it's gonna come down a little bit straighter. You can make your legs different, but where it overlaps, make sure you erase that so you don't have see-through legs. The claws, you can make them however you want. This leg on this side of the body is not going to overlap. It's going to be on the other side, so I'm going to make it not overlapping. So it looks like it's on the other side of the body. And then you can adjust, add your details however you want. We can do more details later. The back leg is going to be a little bit thicker. This is the back leg. And then I'm going to have this leg kind of come down this way. Again, the claws, however you want. Make those claws. Oh, I didn't erase. Erase those parts that overlap. Make sure you do that so it doesn't look like you have anything see-through. The other leg, I might not see all of that. Okay, so the details, those are the fun parts. The wings, I'm gonna have the wing. This wing is going to overlap the body. I'm gonna make a curved line up and then back. And then this part is kind of like a scalloped line, and it gets more narrow as it gets towards the body. Overlap, erase. The wing on the other side will not overlap. It will just be right behind there. So it looks like that's on the other side of the body. Okay, the other things like the horns are gonna come down, or spikes, the back, and they'll stop right about there, and then they'll pick up right about here and continue down the back, or the tail. You can do different types of spikes. Sometimes I have a little line right here to make it look like kind of that, almost like a snake belly. And then any kind of scales that you want. And then we're going to add our background next. Okay, this is the second part. So I'm gonna show you some ideas for this. After we draw the dragon, I want you to draw all your details for your background. You might want to add some more spikes. You might want to add something interesting that you like to do. It doesn't have to be realistic exactly like a dragon would be. Obviously, dragons are kind of unrealistic. But think about good details. Details are things that make your picture look interesting. Think about overlapping things. This one's pretty simple. The dragon itself has got lots of details, so you don't have to have a very complicated background. This style dragon doesn't even have wings, so that's kind of interesting. Again, you can make fire coming out of the mouth. You can make the mouth. This one's more of that kind of beak style that comes down a little bit. Put spikes on the feet for this one. This one's got those different heads. This head looks like it's behind. So think about how you can make your dragon the way you want to make it. You can look up different pictures of different styles of dragons. The horns on this one are different. This one looks like it's got some eyelashes, some more details on the bottom of the jaw. This leg kind of came a little differently. I want to show you a really interesting way to make kind of a cliff. So if you do a zigzag line, and this zigzag line is just going to touch right there. I might make another line come down over here. If I make this part come down and touch the zigzag underneath it, it makes it look kind of like a cliff. And I can think about something to add to the background of that. So you're going to do all of those details first, any details that you want on the wings, the body of your dragon, and then if you have a thin Sharpie, that's the best to add the black lines with, because these have lots of good details for the Sharpie. So trace everything with your black Sharpie first, erase any pencil marks that you can still see, and then you're going to add your color. I suggest using watercolor colored pencils. If you don't have watercolor colored pencils, you're more than welcome just to use regular colored pencils. Think about the dragon color and the background color. Once you have finished completely coloring it in, I shouldn't see white spots unless it's something like a cloud that you want to have left white. Please send me a picture of it so I can give you credit, and I cannot wait to see them.